Good evening, everybody. Hi there. Well, I just want to welcome you to Gethsemane 7 at 7, where you can have your 7 minutes of daily encouragement 7 days a week at 7 p.m. So, I hope everybody is doing well this evening. I just had some things I want to share with you. So last week, I talked about emotions, how emotions are really meant to be our gauges and not our guides. And the Holy Spirit, in conjunction with our spirit, is what we're really meant to be guided by. And you know, after I talked about that last week, I started really having some trouble with emotions. Hello. And if you can imagine that. So, I was really having a hard time. I was being grumpy with my family and all sorts of wonderful things like that. But so I was talking to God about that and going, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on inside me? What's wrong?" And I didn't really feel like I got any answers right that second. But one evening I was sitting down watching a movie with my kids. And we'd seen it before, just very relaxing, all of that. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit just started talking to me. So I jumped up from the couch. Raina got my notebook. And he gave me, I'm just going to call it a poem. It doesn't rhyme. Not all poems have to rhyme. But I'm going to share it with you really quick. It says, "Get out of your own little world. If you can't do for others, pray for them. Speak peace over them. Spend some time with me. Let's clean house. Let's take inventory of your mind. Because what's hiding there will come out of your heart. What's in your heart will come out of your mouth and in your attitude. Be still. Be quiet. Let's get real about what's deep down inside. Let me show you how to change and how to really be better." And that's pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know, I wasn't connecting the dots with that. And I just kept struggling with some of those emotions. So I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to phone a friend. So I called one of my friends and I talked to her. She said, "Hey girl, spill it. What's going on with you?" And so I told her some of the thoughts that I was having. And guess what? It turned out that she was dealing with some of the very same things that I was dealing with. Not the same situations, but some of the same thoughts and feelings that she had years ago and thought that, all of it was taken care of. And so we continued to talk and to pray through what was, what was bothering both of us. And God really revealed through that conversation and through prayer together that He really wants to deal with some of that junk that's still in there and those negative thoughts and those negative emotions. And then we just continued to pray, and the Holy Spirit revealed to us that we were both still dealing with some thoughts and feelings of rejection and thoughts and feelings, and this is specific for me, of insecurity. And things that happened in our childhoods, things that have happened, as we grew up and on into our adult life. So, but when God revealed that to us, we both were like, well, we thought we dealt with that stuff. We thought we were okay, but clearly we weren't. And while my friend was talking, she said something about barreling on through, to get to the other side. And as soon as she said that, God was like, "And there's your issue. That's where your issue is, barreling on through." And I was like, "Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Barreling on through? It's not like I'm, saying, oh, I don't want to deal with this. I'm saying, let's deal with it." But the issue is with both of us that we just want to barrel on through and get through it, But when we do that, we're doing it too quickly, and we're not dealing with everything that's in there. And God said, you need to walk through some of this stuff with me, hand in hand. Okay? And when he said that to me, I pictured me and God kind of in this valley. And, you know, when people think of a valley and you're talking about God, a lot of times they say, you know, they think of the valley of the shadow of death. Nothing like that. It was this beautiful valley with all of these greenery and flowers and everything. But as we were walking along, there were dark spots, kind of like nooks and crannies and little crevices. And as we walked past those, God would stop me and he would look over to that nook and cranny, and all of a sudden there was light to it, and it didn't look so scary, and it wasn't so bad. And, you know, God was showing me that he really just wants me to slow down a little bit, to listen to him, to talk with him about things, so that I can quit going around and around this mountain and keep having to deal with all of these old recycled emotions and thoughts and feelings and fears that have been there for probably most of my life. And, you know, when I read the Bible, a lot of times when I read about the Israelites and how they had to wander in the desert for like 40 years, and that was their own fault. And I always go, God, they were just dumb. They were so dumb. Why did they do that? And he goes, but Rachel, you do that with some of this stuff. If you would slow down and stop trying to barrel on through just to get through the yucky stuff, we can deal with this, and you don't have to go back around that mountain and circle around. And then after that, he gave me this verse about to deal with the insecurity and the rejection. And it's in Psalm 139, starting in verse 13. It says, "For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well." And so if you're dealing with some thoughts and feelings that maybe you also felt like you've dealt with, or maybe you're dealing with some things that you just haven't addressed before with God, I just want to encourage you, you know, to not automatically just think, well, the enemy's attacking me during this time when the world is kind of crazy. Maybe just don't automatically think that. Just go, okay, God, what do I need to learn through this? I'm going to be still with you. I'm going to be quiet with you. And I'm going to learn what you really want me to learn. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I want to encourage you to do, because I know that if we do that, we're going to come out better after all of this stuff is over. I hope that you all are encouraged by what I had to share with you this evening. I love you all. And please feel free to message us on Facebook if you need prayer or need to talk to anybody about anything. All right? Y'all be blessed. Bye-bye.